Morning everyone, how's it going? I'm Alice. I am an advanced life support practitioner at Musgrove Park Hospital. I'm here to go through with you today the basics of cardiopulmonary resuscitation. It's a big, long process, as you can see. I've provided some resources here for you that go into a lot more detail about resuscitation. But we're going to focus today mostly just on the chest compressions portion of helping a collapsed person. So just before we get started, I don't think we're expecting any alarms today, so if we do hear anything, we're going to up and run. Well, not run, we're going to go nice and calmly. It is a physical process that we're going to go through today, alright, so if anyone's got any back injuries, dodgy wrist or anything, please, you do not have to do any chest compressions today, alright. That being said, it should be quite good fun. I've got my colleague, Annie, here to help us. So yeah, we can all get up and have a bit of a go. Fab. So the aims of today's session, we are going to hopefully go through how to assess a collapsed person, including checking for signs of life, that all-important call for help, and we're going to talk about why chest compressions are so important in a resuscitation. Our other aim today is just to go through the basics of those chest compressions, the physicality of it, hand placement, depth and rate, more specifically. Fab, so chest compressions then, why do you think we do them? First off, has anyone ever done a first aid course or learned how to do chest compressions before? Nice, really long time ago, nice, okay, cool. So hopefully this is just going to refresh what you've done before, okay. Fab. Just to clarify the point then, chest compressions is so important because our aim is to, as quickly as we can, start perfusing the brain and the cardiac muscle again. The longer the downtime a person has without that all-important oxygen and glucose to their brain, the worse their outcomes are going to be and we risk brain injury. Okay. So, first off then, Annie here, bless her, was collapsed in the chair, alright? She's slumped over. She might have just been having a little kip, but we're going to check and find her. So she's there, sort of snoring in the chair. We need to figure out, has Annie just fallen asleep? Fair. Or has something worse happened? Because when people become unconscious and collapse, they lose the control of their soft tissue in the back of their throat, so they make a snoring noise. So we're going to start by, Annie, you all right, Annie? Annie, you okay? Sorry. Couldn't help myself. A verbal response is what we're looking for here, and then we're going to go for a painful response. You know, we're going to squeeze on that trap muscle, okay? Really dig your fingers in there. You really need to figure out what's going on. So there's no response to voice. We know now she's unconscious and unresponsive. She's at risk of obstructing her airway, so we need to call for help and get help straight away. That's going to be a verbal response. I need some help in here! Help! And if you're in a place where you might have emergency bells and things, we're going to pull those. But if we're in a community setting, it's 999 straight away on our phone as a backup. So shouting for local help and 999. You can talk to the paramedics as you're going through these manoeuvres. You need that call for help straight away. Right, help starts running in. What's going on? I need your help. We need to get them onto the floor. So we're going to get them into a flat position. We'll support the head. There's not going to be anything dignified about this. Boom, and down. All right. That way, we can check very quickly, have they obstructed their airway? We're going to open the airway and check for breathing. They're not breathing, they have collapsed, they are unconscious. There are no signs of life. Really sorry about this, guys, it's quite brutal, they're dead. Okay? No messing around, feeling for pulses or anything like that. If they're not breathing, they're very quickly not going to have a pulse. Don't worry about it, start those chest compressions. All right? Any questions so far? You all happy with this so far? All right. So let's imagine we're in college. Hopefully everyone's fully dressed. We're not going to waste time exposing the chest, alright? If somebody was going to run off onto get a defibrillator, that's when we're going to do that. But our priority as first responders, got to start that perfusion straight away, alright, to stop that risk of brain injury. So a nice way to landmark where you're going to do your chest compressions, get your hand in their armpit, a bit warm, a bit moist, but it's okay. Bring it across and that'll give you central chest nicely, alright? Nice little hack there for you, alright? The important thing is to get up and over your patient. You need to think of yourself as being a big piston going up and down on their chest, all right? So, if they're on a bed or on a bench or something something like that, you need to get up and over them. That's why the floor's so nice, yeah? You can get up and over them nicely. So kneel down over them. We're going to place one hand on top of the other, central chest, and we're going to compress the chest. Now, harking back to your previous first aid courses, how deep do you think I need to go with my chest compressions?
5 centimeters?
Yeah, nice. Anyone got a ruler on them? No?
Size of a card. I mean, like.
Oh, very cool. That's a nice little thought. I've never not thought of that
Yeah.
before. I tend to say, because we don't have a way of measuring this, is a third of your patient's chest, but patient, you will feel a natural resistance at the bottom of your compression, basically, all right? You'll get some recoil, okay? So that's the most important thing. Compress fully, and then allow the chest to fully recoil afterwards. That way, we give the heart a chance to refill with oxygenated blood, okay? Cool. Now, tell me, are these good chest compressions? Good or bad? What do you reckon?
Too fast.
Too fast? Very nice, yeah, absolutely. If we're going too fast, the heart doesn't have a chance to refill, okay? Okay, what about this then? You said that was too fast. Too slow. What's happening here is we're not building that pressure. The heart is a pump, and it needs something to pump onto. So for something to exert its force onto. If we're going too slow, we don't have enough force to open the aortic valve in the heart, and the blood we're pumping only gets to about here. Okay. So, what do we reckon then? What's the rate I need to go at? Do you know how much I need to do a minute? Oh, you want to sing? Stay alive, stay alive. What was that, Ash?
Is it 30?
That we're going to do 30 to 2 with rescue breaths, which I'm not really advocating for right now.
Isn't that 100?
Yeah, nice one. 100 to 120 chest compressions a minute. So it's just very nicely 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay. Any questions about that so far? No? Can I get some volunteers? Do you want to come up and have a go? Come on, it'll be fun. Lovely, thank you. Come on up. Alright. You can go from this side. I just did it that side so that everyone could see. I will hold on to the chair for you.
Right.
Okay? So where are you going to put your hand placement? How are you going to find that?
From the armpit round to the front,
Lovely.
the centre of the chest.
That's nice. And actually, I would just say, make sure that the heel of the flat of your palm is at the point of compression rather than your fingers, because you're then just going to end up compressing his ribs, bless him. And he will probably break some ribs, guys. It feels terrible, just go for it. All right. Nice. Nice straight arms, shoulders over wrists. Give him hell, go for it. Chest bouncing with that's nice. Ribs went, oh, lovely. Very nice. Good compressions, thank you. Thank you very much. Anyone else like to have a go?
I will if you like.
Go on then, Ash, let's see you do it. Here's the thing, I trained you before, so let's say, oh, steady, you're going to fall off of the... Nice, maybe a little gentler. I don't think Annie's done anything terrible to you yet. Lovely, that's great, thank you very much. Would anyone else like to have a go? Okay.
Yeah.
This does form a lovely sort of bit of exercise for this session. So. Oh, cheating, you've done that before.
I was hesitant to do it.
Lovely, that's very nice. Thank you so much.
I can have a go, I just need to take my things because I know them.
They'll whack you in the face.
Yes,
Yeah.
and bring it in the way, so.
Lovely, excellent compressions. Good landmarking. That's really, yeah, nice.
Thank you.
Cool.
Lovely. Come on.
Go on, go.
Yeah.
It's something different on a Wednesday morning, isn't it? Lovely. Nice, straighten those arms really nice. Hinge at the hips and let your body weight do the work for you. That's it, you want to feel that click. Or hear that click, I should say.
hard, isn't it?
It is hard.
Focus.
Yeah. I will caveat all of this by saying that in real life, it doesn't feel anything like this. The mannequin's a very sterile way to practice, but it's a nice, safe place to practice those skills. You know, 'cause you don't really want to do this on an actual person, do you? Lovely, my computer's gone to sleep. That's fantastic. Lovely. So, You did some really great chest compressions there, really nice. Some little points that I want to go over. You really need to protect yourselves. So those nice straight arms, hinging at the hips, is really important to make sure you get that good depth. Also, you don't tire too quickly. And that's one of the things that you'll find. If you're helping somebody who's collapsed, you may end up doing continuous chest compressions until the ambulance arrives, all right? So if there's people around who you can swap in and out of, you can maybe coach them a little bit on their chest compressions and take breaks with each other. But make sure that when you're going to take a break, that you're organising it. So you want to make sure that this guy is not without chest compressions, therefore perfusion to his brain and cardiac muscle for any longer than 5 seconds. So it's going to look a little bit like this. Crikey, I'm getting really tired. Can someone take over from me? And someone will hopefully then go, yeah, I can do that, I can do that.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, lovely, okay. Fab, come on, do you want to get into position then? All right, I'm going to count you in, okay? You ready?
Yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Nice, beautiful little handover there. Crap, look at that. I hope I clap somewhere near you.
Always willing.
Yeah, absolutely. Some other things to consider then. Your chest compressions are the most important thing you can do for somebody who's collapsed, all right? The defib isn't always going to be appropriate depending on sort of what's actually happened to that patient, so it's sort of second priority, all right? If somebody else wants to run off and get the defib, that's absolutely fine. They can come back, put the pads on, that's brilliant. You're going to keep doing those compressions the whole time. All right. Once that defib arrives, you'll have to think about exposing the chest at that point, and remembering that 5-second rule for pauses and chest compressions. That includes getting the pads on as well. So you want to make sure that if anyone's exposing the chest, it's while you're doing your work. So cutting the scissors around here, brilliant. Okay, lift off for me, and then bam, opening up the clothes and things. Hands back on, get the pads ready. I'm going to carry on perfusing. Pads are ready, lift off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're struggling, okay, I'm going to get back on while you figure out the pads, okay? So just bearing that in mind, okay? And then, of course, you're safe with the defibrillator, which we'll go through on a different date, all right? So we've got some resources here if you guys want to come and check these out. Just goes through the sort of processes of sort of finding your collapsed person, your priorities, chest compressions, and managing an airway, which is just there for you to peruse if you'd like to. So, just to go through then, in summary, well actually before we summarise, I'd just like to ask if anyone has any questions. This is your opportunity.
I just have
Yeah.
one. Have you ever done it on a real person?
Many times, yeah, I have. I'm a cardiac nurse by background, and we used to do cardiac surgery. Once a week we probably have to do chest compressions, but my current role as a resuscitation officer, I hold a pager and I run around the hospital with other members of the team and we're helping patients and ward staff who are dealing with someone who's collapsed, so yeah. Yeah.
On average, like what is the time frame that someone or is it?
It's as long as they can, to be honest. It would never be your decision to stop. We're very happy to let you make that decision to start,
Yeah.
but really once you've started you should really keep going until the ambulance crew get there. But the most important thing in all of this is your safety. So if you're exhausted, you can't go on and your shoulder's giving out and things like this, of course you're going to stop. All right, you've got to protect yourself. Yeah. I've got a little statistic for you. It's worth mentioning that out of hospital rate of survival for chest compressions, it's like 11%. But those 11% are really important, okay? It's only 24 in hospital, so don't get any mad ideas that we're like superstars. All right, but I've met people who've had 40 straight minutes of chest compressions, countless shocks of defibrillator, no neurological deficit, so you can do some real good with these. Lovely. So just to summarise then, we're going to start by assessing our patient, trying to get a response from them. No, okay, we're going to get them down. Checking for those signs of life, and that really is just about breathing, not checking a pulse, all right? And then if we find someone who isn't breathing, we're going to start those all-important chest compressions. So, can anyone tell me how we're going to find, how we're going to landmark on the chest for our chest compressions? How are we going to do that? Find the armpit, yeah, lovely, we're going to get in there. And how deep do we need to go with our chest compressions? 5 to 6 centimetres, or a third of the patient's chest, or until you meet resistance. And then what's the most important thing with our compression? Don't stop and allow the chest to recoil fully. Yeah, absolutely. And how fast do we need to go?
100 per minute.
Lovely, very nice. So, you can sing, by all means I encourage singing, so Staying Alive. And apparently Lady Gaga's very good for chest compressions, Poker Face, I can never remember the words. Yeah. I will not hear Baby Shark, no, no. And of course the old favourite, Nelly the Elephant. Alright, so don't sound good. Thank you for your time today, everybody. I hope that's been useful for you. If you've got any questions, by all means, grab me to one side.
Okay, clap, please. Okay, lead reviewer, please provide some feedback, please.
Yeah, so I felt that the objectives and aims were really clear and precise at the beginning. Really good demonstrations, particularly, getting people involved as well. You were giving feedback during the demonstrations that we were doing, which was really nice that we can improve while we were actually there doing it. Good explanations as to why we have to do it as well. And also just a really friendly, welcoming atmosphere that, makes you feel comfortable wants you to get involved, making it a bit fun. I think when you first started, everyone was a bit like, oh, I don't know if I want to go, but you were like, it'd be fine. So, yeah, really good.
Thank you.
Okay, well done. Okay, just a bit for me then. Okay, good introduction, highlighting the objectives of the session, housekeeping, health and safety. You mentioned including potential injuries, good. Aim was discussed, life support regarding resuscitation. Good starting point, establishing learners' current standard. You established that, which is good, excellent that. Also, input as evidence, setting the scene for the learners, help them get in the moment, ready for the practical task, well done there. Learners were motivated and attentive. Checking on learning was evident within the summary at the end of the session. Clear engagement, enthusiastic, clear voice, a suitable speed and gave learners time to assimilate the information. Clear instructions, excellent delivery, clear evidence of subject knowledge in detail. Good to see the tutor giving praise and instant feedback. Very minimal there areas for development, but if I was going to be critical, I'd probably say maybe give them a possible handout to take away with. In addition, when you're asking questions, okay, don't take it for granted when they say, anyone got any questions? They all look and go, no, you ask some questions. So just make sure you check the understanding as well, because the logo, they're thinking about dinner. All right?
Yeah,
but overall, really, really, really good. Okay, Marketeach, well done.